Why women ignore you when they're deeply in love. Old Stoic wisdom. She used to text back fast. She used to care. Now she pulls away even though you know she still feels something. You're confused, angry, hurt. But here's the Stoic truth. A woman can ignore you and still be madly in love. Let me explain. Many men take a woman's silence as a sign of indifference. The immediate assumption is that she no longer cares. This leads to panic, over-analysis, and often desperate actions, chasing, begging, and pleading for her attention. But what if I told you that sometimes her silence could be a sign of feeling too much rather than too little? Today, I'll break down why a woman in love might distance herself and how a Stoic man should respond. 1. She's waiting to see if you'll chase. At some point, we've all been there, texting her, wondering why she's gone silent. Why does she seem distant when everything should be perfect? Why does her silence speak volumes? And what does it really mean? If you're trying to figure out why women, especially those deeply in love with you, sometimes pull back, you're standing at the intersection of love and ancient wisdom. First rule. Silence can be strategy. When a woman pulls away, it's not necessarily because she's lost interest. Often, it's the opposite. She may be testing you, seeing if you will chase. Don't mistake her silence for disinterest. It might be part of a strategy, a way to gauge your reaction. Will you beg for her attention? Will you crumble under pressure and flood her with texts? Or will you do what every man should do, live your life without skipping a beat? This concept goes beyond just dating. It taps into an ancient rule, the Stoic rules of maintaining inner peace, no matter what's happening around you. Women, much like everyone else, are drawn to men with purpose. If she sees that her absence knocks you off your axis, that's a clear sign. She will start to lose respect. Be unwavering. Focus on your life, your goals, your passions. If you stop everything for her, that's not attractive. It's desperation. In the Stoic framework, there's a powerful lesson. Control what you can and let go of what you cannot. She pulls away? Fine. Don't chase her. Live your life and the world will respect you. You must never stop living, just because someone takes a step back. Second rule. The power of indifference, not in a cold way, but in a Stoic way. This is where the magic happens. Practical Stoicism teaches us that indifference isn't about being cold or uncaring. It's about emotional resilience. You are not emotionally dependent on someone else's actions. When she pulls back, don't lose yourself in anxiety. Be unshaken. Pursue your goals. Continue your journey. That is true strength. Stoicism provides a path of wisdom that teaches men not to let external events, like her silence, control their emotional state. Imagine if you did the opposite, panicking, calling endlessly, pleading for attention. What happens? The attraction dies. She doesn't want to feel like she's the center of your universe. She wants to respect you for who you are and what you bring into the world. The key to attracting a woman who respects you is not in the chase. It's in the quiet strength of knowing that your life doesn't revolve around her. Third rule. She wants to see if you have a life without her. Here's the thing. When you're obsessed with her response, you miss the bigger picture. Women, especially those in love, want to see if you can stand alone. Don't be desperate for her validation. You're not a dependent creature. You are a man with your own dreams, your own goals. Don't seek her approval at every turn. This is where Stoic wisdom really hits home. You see, true strength doesn't lie in seeking approval from others. It lies in living your life according to your own principles. Women are drawn to men with purpose. If she senses that her silence makes you crumble, the attraction dies. But if she sees that your world doesn't stop spinning without her, she'll come back. Not out of guilt, but respect. This doesn't mean you should act aloof or unkind. Be empathetic, but don't let her test you like this make you question your own worth. You are already enough. You must not let your emotional state hinge on someone's attention. She will see this resilience, and it will draw her back. Not out of guilt, but out of a deeper, more profound respect for the man you are. The great Stoics taught us to focus on what we can control, and what we cannot, we release. This is the wisdom you need when dealing with a woman's silence. Don't chase her. Don't beg for her attention. If you want her respect, live a life that stands strong, regardless of what happens in your relationship. If she loves you, she will return. Not because you begged, but because she sees that you are a man who stands firm in his purpose. That is the man she wants to be with. In the end, women respect men who don't crumble in the face of uncertainty. You must become the man who is unfazed. Stoic wisdom says, control what you can and let the rest go. Your life, your goals, your purpose must always come first. And if she's truly in love with you, she will recognize that strength and return, not out of guilt, but from the admiration of your self-sufficiency and unshakable purpose. Remember this, live your life with stoic strength, and she will come back, not because you chased, but because she respects the man you've become. 2. She's testing your stability. Don't mistake this as a random emotional outburst. Women test you. They want to see how you react. But here's the thing. They don't test you out of cruelty. It's not about putting you through some painful trial for fun. No, it's much deeper than that. She's testing you to see if you're solid, to see if, when faced with her silence, you remain centered. Will you hold your ground, or will you crumble under the pressure? A stoic man is always calm. He doesn't chase validation. He stands his ground, calm, confident, and unwavering. He doesn't beg for attention. He's already complete within himself. And in relationships, especially with women, this is crucial. Will you spiral? Will you beg for attention? Here's the test in its simplest form. Will you lose yourself just because she's quiet? Will you start doubting your worth, questioning her love, or seeking out constant reassurance? A man who is unstable will spiral. He will send a flood of text, call repeatedly, or worse, do things that come across as desperate. It's the worst thing you can do. You must resist this urge. You see, paths of wisdom tell us that the true test of character comes not in easy moments, but in those moments of tension. When everything feels off, that's when you reveal your true strength. A stoic man remains calm in the storm. He remains confident in his worth, regardless of the external noise. That is the secret. Women want to know if you can weather the storm without losing your composure. They want to see if you're the steady force that can guide both of you through uncertainty. You don't need to fix things. You need to hold yourself together. How to pass the test. You might be wondering, how do I pass this test? The answer is simple. Stay grounded. You're not a child chasing after attention. You're a man who understands that relationships require balance. It's not about constant interaction. It's about quality, not quantity. When she withdraws, it's not a personal attack on your masculinity. It's an invitation for you to demonstrate stability, and trust me, that's attractive. A woman wants a man who can handle his emotions without losing control. She doesn't need you to solve her problems or understand every little thing she's going through. She needs you to be solid, a man who is unshaken by the natural ebb and flow of the relationship. A stoic man knows that love isn't about seeking constant validation, but about the unspoken bond that grows when both partners know how to respect space and time. Now, here's the twist. When you don't lose yourself, when you don't beg or chase, she trusts you more. Not because you said the right thing or did something clever, it's because you passed the test, not with words, but with your actions. You didn't react emotionally. You didn't spiral into chaos. You stayed calm, cool, and confident. Remember, practical stoicism is all about control of your mind, your emotions, and your reactions. And if you can hold that frame, even when she tests you, your relationship will grow stronger. She'll see you as a man of strength. She'll trust you to be the steady hand, the one who can navigate the storms of life without breaking. So next time she pulls away, don't chase after her. Be the stoic man you are meant to be. Hold steady. Don't spiral. Don't beg. You must understand that stability is the ultimate test. And in the long run, it's the key to deeper trust and connection. Your challenge? Stay grounded. Stay confident. Stay true to yourself. And watch how she comes back. Not out of obligation, but out of respect for your strength. This is the path of wisdom that men before you have followed, and it's the path you must follow as well. So take a deep breath, hold your ground, and let her see the strength of your stability. The results will speak for themselves. 3. She's afraid of losing control. Love makes her feel vulnerable, and vulnerability, it's not easy, especially for a woman who's been hurt before. In relationships, especially when a woman is deeply in love with you, you may find that she pulls away or even ignores you. This might leave you confused, wondering what went wrong or what you did to trigger such behavior. The truth is, this is often a manifestation of her own vulnerability. Love, as profound and powerful as it is, makes a woman feel exposed, and with exposure comes fear, the fear of losing control. Vulnerability is a tough thing to deal with, particularly for a woman who's been hurt before. If she's ignoring you, it's likely not a sign of disinterest, but rather her attempt to regain control over her emotions and her life. The fear of losing control overwhelms her, so she distances herself in an effort to protect herself from falling too deep, too fast. In these moments, your persistence, your chasing her relentlessly, only pushes her further away. To her, this feels like a loss of control. She may retreat because she's trying to safeguard herself from being swept away by emotions she cannot control. This is where Stoic wisdom comes in. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." You must understand this too. You cannot control her feelings, her actions, or her responses. Control lies not in forcing her to react a certain way, but in trusting that your value will be recognized. The Stoic man understands that control is not in exerting power over others, but in mastering oneself. You must let go of the need to chase, to demand, to force. Instead, trust that your worth is inherent and undeniable. If she is truly yours, she will return to you, because true love is not about chasing or securing approval. It's about understanding that the right person will recognize your value in their own time. And if she doesn't come back, that's not a loss. That's simply the reality of life. Epictetus reminds us, what upsets people is not things themselves, but their judgments about these things. In this case, it's your judgment that you need her attention at all costs. You don't. You are the Stoic man who knows that time is valuable, and the right woman will never leave you wondering. You must accept what comes and move forward with dignity and strength. The pursuit of love and the need for control are illusions. Your power lies in letting go and moving forward. With this mindset, you can navigate the emotional turmoil with the calm of a Stoic, unshaken by the storms of life. Let her go. If she returns, she does so because she recognizes your worth. If she does not, you have already won, for you understand the true nature of control and love. This is the Stoic way, the way of strength, mastery, and wisdom. This is how you win. If you found this valuable, comment below and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom. Comment to remember, I trust my own value and let go. 4. She doesn't want to feel dependent. When a woman is deeply in love, she might start ignoring you, and it can leave you scratching your head. But don't take it personally or overthink it. Here's the thing. Many women, especially those who are fiercely independent, dread the feeling of dependency. When they fall for you, it disrupts their sense of self. They begin to need your presence, your voice, your energy, and that can be terrifying to them. Dependency feels like weakness. It's like an iron chain binding them to something they don't want to be chained to. That's why they pull back. That's why they start ignoring you. It's not a punishment or a sign of disinterest. It's simply a reaction to protect their sense of independence. They're testing their own strength. They're trying to prove to themselves that they can stand alone even in the face of love. Now, here's where you need to use your head, not your heart. The Stoic response to this situation. It's about embracing the old Stoic wisdom, understanding that you don't need to chase her or force closeness. Be patient. Don't overcompensate or try to fill the space she's created. Respect her need for independence and focus on your own mission. Continue building your empire. The Stoic principles tell us that self-sufficiency, not dependence, is the true measure of strength. You must stand firm, focused on your own purpose. Be the man who has his own life, his own goals, and his own values. That is what makes you attractive in the long run. When you don't cling or demand constant validation, when you live with an iron mind that is unshaken by her pulling away, that's when the attraction truly deepens. The balance of giving her space while continuing to forge your own path creates the foundation for lasting attraction. Don't confuse her space with rejection. It's just a sign that she values her independence and needs to preserve it. That's something worth respecting, and something you should mirror in your own life. You can't force someone to stay close when they feel like their freedom is at risk. So, stop chasing her, stop pushing for attention, and embrace the Stoic art of patience and self-sufficiency. In the end, it's that very space and balance that will make her appreciate you even more. 5. She's overwhelmed by her own feelings. When a woman falls deeply in love, she doesn't always know how to handle it. The emotions are intense, consuming, even terrifying. Love isn't always soft. Sometimes it's chaos inside her mind. Don't be fooled by the silence. Don't rush to conclusions when she suddenly pulls away. That retreat. It isn't indifference, it's intensity. When a woman falls deeply in love, she doesn't always glide into it with grace. Sometimes she crashes into it like a storm hitting the shoreline. Her heart, once quiet, now thunders with emotions she never expected. Love, real love, isn't always sweet whispers and warm glances. It's fire, it's confusion. It's a storm of questions she can't answer fast enough. So don't misread her distance as detachment. It's the pressure of passion crashing against the walls of her iron mind, and she's not quite sure how to contain the flood. That's the paradox, isn't it? Not because she stopped caring, but because she's scared of how much she does. That much emotion, that deep vulnerability, it's terrifying, especially for someone who isn't used to surrendering control. Women, just like men, aren't immune to fear, but their fear hides in silence, not shouts. So instead of chasing after her like a lost boy desperate for attention, be a man who understands the deeper current. That's where Old Stoic wisdom becomes your strongest weapon. Don't react. Don't dramatize. Don't corner her with questions. Observe. Be still. Stay grounded. You must be the calm in her chaos. Stoicism teaches us to not react to the storm, but to observe it. A woman overwhelmed by emotion needs space to breathe, not a man chasing her shadow. If you give her that space, you give her the safety to come back. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing. Not out of weakness, but because your Stoic principles tell you this is not the moment to act. It's the moment to wait. A woman overwhelmed by love doesn't need a man who panics. She needs a man who holds his frame. She needs to feel like she can fall apart without you falling apart too. That's what strength looks like to her. That's what safety feels like. Be that strength. Hold your ground. Have an iron mind when everything in you wants to chase. That chase is what boys do. Men of Stoic principles, understand the art of letting go without giving up. Give her space, not silence. Distance, not detachment. And most of all, respect the rhythm of her emotional storm. Let her retreat if she must. Let her breathe, and when the storm calms, she'll remember exactly where the anchor was. You. This is not about playing games. This is about mastering yourself. If you break at the first sign of distance, you are never strong enough to hold the weight of a woman's love. So don't demand answers when she's searching for her own. Don't confuse her fear with rejection. That's the mistake weak men make. Be smarter. Be still. Be the man whose silence says, I see you. I understand. I'm here. That's Old Stoic wisdom in motion. Not flashy, not loud, but unshakable. And that's the man she comes back to. If you truly understand the power of silence and discipline in your relationships, drop a comment right now. I am the man who stands firm in my purpose. Like this video, subscribe for more unshakable wisdom, and remind yourself daily. Silence isn't distance, it's discipline. 6. She wants you to prove you're not like the rest. When a woman is deeply in love with you, there will be moments when she seems distant, cold, or even ignores you entirely. Don't mistake this for a lack of affection. It is, in fact, a sign of her vulnerability, a response to the scars she carries from her past. Every woman has faced pain, betrayal, heartbreak, and lost trust. As she begins to feel something real for you, her subconscious warns her, "Don't get too close. You'll get hurt again." It's a defense mechanism, not a deliberate act of harm. She's testing you, pushing you away, trying to see if you're strong enough to handle the emotional intensity that comes with her heart. And here lies the crux of the matter. How you respond in those moments will define your relationship. The typical man might react with frustration, confusion, or desperation. He might try to fix her, soothe her, or force the affection he believes he deserves. But the Stoic man, he responds differently. A man of true strength doesn't panic when faced with emotional turbulence. He remains composed. He remains grounded. He understands that love isn't about conquering another person's emotions, but about creating space where both parties can thrive. Epictetus, a master of Stoicism, often said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This wisdom rings truer in love than ever. When she pulls back, when she tests you, you must remain steady. Don't chase her. Don't plead. Don't let her emotional turmoil become your own. Stoicism teaches you that your inner peace is your responsibility. Your worth is not dependent on the approval or affection of others. So what do you do when she distances herself? You stay calm. You stay strong. You give her the space to process her emotions without taking it personally. You don't force the issue or try to fix her feelings. She doesn't need fixing. She needs understanding. In fact, your ability to remain patient and grounded in those moments will show her that you are unlike the others. You're not a man who will buckle under pressure, who will crumble when faced with difficulty. You're a man who can endure, who can navigate the storm without losing his sense of self. Stoicism wins, my friend. Stoicism wins every time. The world may challenge you, women may test you, but the one who stands resolute, undeterred by emotions or external forces, will always emerge victorious. Understand that her silence isn't a rejection. It's a test, a challenge to prove your strength. The wise know that true power is not displayed in grand gestures, but in quiet resilience. You must prove to her, not with your words, but with your actions, that you are trustworthy, that you are different, that you won't run when the going gets tough. Remember, what we fear doing most is usually what we most need to do. So stand your ground. Don't chase her. Let her come to you when she's ready. Don't let her past become your burden. Embrace her vulnerabilities and show her the calm, unshakable strength of a man who has mastered his own emotions. This is the key to winning her heart, not by fixing her, but by proving you're the one who can weather her storms. Only through this calm perseverance will you see her open up, and in turn, experience a love that's deep, lasting, and true. In the end, the Stoic path is one of victory, not through force, not through desperate action, but through unwavering strength and understanding. Let Stoicism win. It will serve you well in love and in life. 7. She's trying to maintain her power. In today's dating world, everyone craves control, and that includes women. Sometimes, when a woman pulls away, it's not because she doesn't care. It's because she's terrified of losing her power in the dynamic. If she feels like she's falling too fast, she might distance herself just to regain her strength and control. This is where most men make a fatal mistake. They chase after her, beg for her attention, and try to reassure her, thinking that will win her over. In reality, all they're doing is giving her control and diminishing their own value. The Stoic man, however, understands the game. He doesn't engage in manipulative games. He remains steadfast and true to his principles, recognizing that the right woman doesn't need to be chased. She will recognize his worth on her own, without being cajoled or convinced. What you should never do? Let's be perfectly clear. If a woman is ignoring you repeatedly, disrespecting you, or emotionally manipulating you, that's not love, it's control. Stoicism teaches that you should never tolerate unhealthy emotional dynamics. So here's a hard truth. Don't beg for her attention. Don't double text. Don't stalk her on social media or lose sleep over her silence. Don't let her actions dictate your mood or worth. Instead, let your actions speak through your peace of mind, your purpose, and your iron-willed discipline. Don't waste your time trying to prove your worth to someone who's confused about you. True love doesn't require convincing, it requires mutual respect. What a Stoic man does instead. A Stoic man observes. He doesn't react emotionally to every move she makes. He watches with awareness, not fear. If she pulls away, he doesn't panic. He doesn't scramble to win her back. Instead, he keeps his focus sharp, continues building himself, and never compromises his time or energy. His life is full of purpose and discipline. If she returns, great. But if not, he remains undeterred, because his value doesn't depend on her attention. His worth is rooted in his own iron mind, grounded in Stoic principles. This man becomes unforgettable, not because he chases, but because he stands firm in his own self-respect. The brutal truth. Here's the harsh reality. Sometimes women ignore you when they're deeply in love with you, not because they don't care, but because they're battling their own emotions. It's an internal struggle. But how you respond to that silence, that moment of distance, that's what separates weak men from the strong, Stoic ones. If you remain grounded, patient, and unmoved by her retreat, she'll feel it. She'll recognize that you are the man who doesn't beg, doesn't break under pressure, and doesn't chase after fleeting affection. A man who stands unwavering in his own value, and in the end, that's the kind of man she'll either come back to or deeply regret losing. Remember, the key isn't to chase love, it's to be the kind of man who is worth chasing. So, embrace your Stoic principles, cultivate an iron mind, and let your actions reflect your unshakable self-respect. If this message resonates with you, it's time to level up your mindset. It's time to become the man who doesn't need to chase, because he's already everything she needs. If you're still here, you're already on the right track. Most men chase, plead, and lose themselves in the process. But not you. You understand the power of Stoic wisdom. Please comment below, I don't chase. I stand firm in my value. 8. She's subconsciously guarding against disappointment. Love is a beautiful thing. It's a force that can elevate, transform, and even heal. But let's face it, love is also a risky business. When a woman falls deeply in love, something profound happens beneath the surface, something you might not notice at first. She starts to pull away, not because she doesn't care, but because she's guarding against the possibility of disappointment. It's a defense mechanism, a survival instinct that has developed over countless generations. She subconsciously knows that love can lead to hurt, and the deeper she invests her emotions, the more painful the fall might be if things don't turn out as expected. You must understand, this isn't about you. It's not even really about the relationship. It's a subconscious response to her vulnerability. Love, for all its wonder, comes with the potential for heartbreak, and some women, when they feel deeply for you, will instinctively distance themselves to avoid the sting of future disappointment. The deeper the feelings, the greater the risk. She wants to protect her heart from getting shattered. Don't take it personally. Now, the Stoic man knows this all too well. He understands that vulnerability is an essential part of love, but he also understands that it can't be forced. Love, much like the ancient Stoic rules, is not something you rush into, nor is it something you can command. Be patient. Don't try to manipulate her emotions or force her into showing affection when she's not ready. She needs time. She needs space. And that space is where the strength of a Stoic truly shines. A Stoic man approaches love with the wisdom of the ages. He knows that true love isn't about controlling or rushing someone into vulnerability. Rather, it's about offering the emotional safety and patience needed for that person to come to terms with their own feelings. He isn't afraid to wait because, in the words of the great Stoic philosophers, he understands that time is on his side. True love doesn't need to be rushed or coerced. The Stoic man is confident in the process. He has faith in the journey, and he trusts that genuine emotional connection will grow, not through pressure, but through time, care, and shared experience. That is the path of wisdom. Let's contrast this with how a man might act without the guidance of practical stoicism. He might demand answers, push for more affection, or try to fix the situation. In doing so, he risks overwhelming her. You must understand, love isn't something to be conquered. It's not a battle to win. It's a bond to nurture. When you push too hard, you may end up pushing her further away. In contrast, a man who practices practical stoicism realizes that patience is power. Remember, it's not about her not caring, it's about her guarding her heart. The Stoic approach encourages us to act with clarity and confidence. You see, the beauty of Stoic philosophy isn't just in the rules, it's in the ability to endure, to remain steadfast, even when emotions may cloud the judgment of others. If you step back and allow her to find her own way, you display strength, not weakness. Don't be afraid of the space she needs. That space isn't a reflection of your worth. It's a sign of her internal process. Women, when deeply in love, often find themselves grappling with the same paradox. The deeper the love, the more vulnerable they become. The Stoic man gives her room to breathe, room to make her own decisions, and room to feel her emotions fully without rushing her into a decision. That is the Stoic path, the path of wisdom. The key here is to recognize that vulnerability in love, much like Stoic endurance, requires balance. You must never force it, but also never let it slip away unnoticed. Love that is rushed will burn hot and fast, but love that is allowed to mature and develop over time will stand the test of time. Ultimately, the Stoic understands that love is not something to be manipulated or controlled, but a journey to be respected. He lets her take the time she needs, trusting that if it's meant to be, it will bloom. If not, he accepts that the journey, even with its ups and downs, will lead to greater wisdom. This is the true strength of a Stoic man, the ability to allow love to unfold in its own time, without pushing, without rushing, without fear. This, my friend, is the true nature of love, guided by the ancient paths of wisdom. 9. She is reflecting on her own worth. When a woman who is deeply in love begins to ignore you, understand this. It's not about you. It's about her. In love, some women face an internal struggle. They may question their value, torn between intense feelings and the need to maintain their own identity. This silence, this withdrawal, isn't a reflection of her feelings towards you, it's a reflection of her own self-reflection. She is testing her worth. She's not seeking validation from you. She is, in fact, pushing herself to prove that she is enough on her own, without the crutch of a relationship. In these moments, you must remember the words of Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Do not chase her. Do not beg for her attention. A Stoic man does not need the validation of others. You must be strong in your own sense of self. A Stoic man embraces independence. He knows that his worth is not dependent on external sources, whether that's the affection of a woman or the approval of others. Instead of pursuing her during this time, focus on your own growth. Become the man you want to be. Be resolute in your self-development. When she sees that you are whole without her, your strength in self-assurance will attract her back. You will have mastered the art of inner peace and self-worth, just as Epictetus teaches us in Stoicism. Don't beg for attention. Don't chase what will come when the time is right. Keep moving forward. Remember, she needs to find her own sense of self, and you must be unwavering in your own journey. Your strength, your focus, your self-assurance will ultimately be what draws her back. Keep mastering yourself, and you will win. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. Skillful pilots gain their reputation from storms and tempests. Stoicism teaches that life struggles are the path to victory. You have the power to master yourself. You will win, not by chasing, but by becoming the best version of yourself. This is the Stoic way. Keep your focus. Keep developing yourself. You are enough, and you must believe it. If you find this valuable, comment below, and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom. Comment to remember. True strength lies in self-assurance, not seeking validation from others. 10. She's waiting for emotional clarity. In the unpredictable world of love, women often retreat into their own emotional spaces, especially when they're deeply in love. It's not a sign of disinterest. Rather, it's a sign that she needs time to sort through her feelings. Women, like all of us, experience a storm of emotions. They may not immediately understand what they feel, and in such moments, they need space to process. This isn't about you or your worth. It's about her seeking emotional clarity. The wisest thing you can do during this time is to remain emotionally steady, unwavering in your commitment to her, and give her the room she needs to figure things out. Don't demand answers. Don't push for intimacy or try to force her to share her feelings before she's ready. That's the essence of Old Stoic wisdom, being patient, letting things unfold in their own time, and not succumbing to the pressure of immediate gratification. You must be the calm, unwavering presence she needs, an iron mind that doesn't crumble under emotional uncertainty. The Stoic man understands that emotions are complex, and sometimes silence and space allow clarity to emerge. You must trust in the process. By staying grounded and not reacting emotionally to her pullback, you give her the freedom to explore her desires, anxieties, and needs without feeling pressured. This is what a true Stoic does. He embodies the principles of patience, emotional control, and resilience. He doesn't chase or demand. Instead, he trusts the natural flow of emotions and stays steady, knowing that true intimacy comes when both people are ready to share, not when one forces it prematurely. So remember, be emotionally steady, give her the space she needs, and let the storm of emotions clear on its own. By doing so, you will show her that you're the kind of man who understands the profound importance of emotional clarity, and she'll be more likely to open up to you when the time is right. Thanks for sticking around till the end. I hope this insight into why women might ignore you when they're deeply in love has helped shed some light on the mystery. Remember, the key takeaway here is to stay grounded. When you react with patience, stability, and self-assurance, you demonstrate that you are not dependent on external validation, and that's a powerful signal of self-respect. So, if she pulls back, don't chase. Instead, focus on your own growth. Stay calm and trust in the process. Love thrives on respect, both for yourself and for her. Stay stoic, my friend, and keep leveling up in all aspects of your life. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe for more content on Stoicism, emotional power, and masculine growth. Keep rising, and remember, chasing love is old news. Be the man worth chasing. Catch you in the next one.